Hi everyone, good morning and welcome back to Ocean View High School in Huntington Beach, California for National League Week 3 competition. And on the way, a good one, a rivalry match as the New York Athletic Club and the Olympic Club get set to meet. Olympic Club in second place at 6-1 on the year. They're the defending champs here in the National League, taking on the New York Athletic Club at 4-2 on the year. Olympic Club is in the white caps, New York in the dark. Cammie Craig and Greg Meskel joining you from Huntington Beach, California. Sun starting to peek out after an overcast morning, and we are underway in this one. Officials Levon Dermenji and Michael Goldenberg as we get things started. And Cammie, you're no stranger to these clubs and many of the athletes on these teams, top-level college players, Olympians, medalists, the whole deal.
It's always fun to watch rivalry games. There's a lot of great energy and play out there.
And so early on, here's Olympic Club with Colin Mulcahy taking a look and waved that one off. No goal. McQuinn Barron goes in cage for New York. Lazar Andrich for Olympic Club. And Barron now will push ahead. Here's Ryder Roberts. Roberts over the top. Good look inside, but losing the handles, Alex Rolsa. And then he and Andrich will get tangled up.
Incredible placement on that pass. I mean, that's definitely some teamwork there and knowing each other.
And now Olympic Club will push ahead. Stapleton has that one knocked down and taken by McQuinn Barron. Roberts, former UCLA Bruin, gives off to Jesse Smith, four-time Olympian. Entry into Obert, and that draws an exclusion.
You see Obert keeping his head up big on his legs and set when that ball comes in, making good movement to it, earning his ejection as the work he put in for it.
And so second look here, Alex Obert doing the job.
Tossing his cap out, small movement towards the front of the cage and putting the ball in the post position.
Takes a pass back as the Olympic Club moves into offense. And Cooper with the ball. It's a put in play after the ordinary. But a contra foul back in the hands of New York.
New York taking advantage of their press defense here. Looking to press forward in this advantage. Contra foul here, turnover. Now Olympic ball.
Here's Zach Monsi's on the move. Former Cal Bear surging ahead. Inside, Blake Parrish tries to work even closer to Colin Mulcahy, but
third
offensive.
possession, third offensive.
Yeah. So officials setting the tone here early, as you so often see.
Obert works into set. That's on the defense. Robert sends it down. Smith into Obert, draws the penalty. Charge against 12, White, and a penalty shot coming.
And now a penalty will be called against the Olympic Club, and that will go against Johnny Hooper. And now a penalty try coming here for New York to try and take a 2-0 lead. Here's Roberts. And a save. Lazar Andrich. The Cal Bear turns that one away.
Time Stapleton
Here's Stapleton. Long cross pass. Good look, but can't hit. In close. Mulcahy goes off the bar and away.
Great cross pass for a great look. New York off to the races here.
Yeah, Barron the long outlet to Ryder Roberts. Now looking inside. Here's Carnelia closing in. Draws a crowd, but a steal. Taken away by Hooper. Andrich now firing ahead to Mulcahy.
Both Olympic and New York trying to find their flow in this game. Quite a few offensives called early, which can really disrupt the flow as you're trying to kind of figure out how the game is going to start to unfold. You start to build up, you start to work forward.
And Olympic Club is on the board. Zach Monsees tying things at 1. You're spot on with that because you start to do the things you think work to start a game, and you find out, no, not going to be allowed, so then you have to adjust. And
not even that they work or not, but you just kind of flow into like getting things moving a certain way that you're almost used to. It's like a cadence that you kind of fall into and you start kind of going and rolling. And when you're flying down the pool or you're starting to go to work inside 2 meters or 2 meter defending, and then that's disrupted by a turnover, you're kind of going like, okay, you're like jolted into the next direction, right? So we'll kind of see them fall into a flow here, I think, later on than usual.
So 1-1 game here.
Wilson.
From the outside, Andrich got a piece of it. He almost deflected it into his own cage. It goes off the other side of the cage and out.
Outlet pass to the advantage, 50-50 pass going to the goalkeeper.
And the way these goalies come off their line, Cammie, it really shrinks the course because they're not going to let you make a long outlet and wait for you to come in.
Absolutely, and you can see the size of their athletes out there right now. They're just taking up quite a bit of space in the pool. We talked the difference between, shorter or smaller goalies or longer goalies, and we're definitely looking at some length in both ends of the pool here.
The exclusion called against Olympic Club. Power play now to New York. Here's Rolsa. He'll work along 2 meters. Deals out high to Styling. That's knocked down, and Andrich, a big smile after he bats that one down with 2 hands.
It's a tough shot to get off. To catch that ball cross-face, bring it across your body, and then try to organize your position and quick enough to get a quick, sharp shot off. That's a tough one to be done. Olympics going to have, again, another offensive.
There's been quite a few of those, as you alluded to, in this first quarter. As we are at 3 minutes to play, first quarter. New York going live time sub here, so this is going to take some time. They'll be down a player as Obert looks to join the fray.
New York aware of that, taking their time on their offensive possession here.
And they'll get it to Obert with 5 on the timer. Now Roberts, and this is a bit of a lost possession. They'll dump this one aside. And Olympic Club will get a chance on offense. Now 1-1 game here, 2:25 to play in the first. Good no-look entry inside, and the turn and the score is there. Peter Sefton.
Sefton, a former player from Stanford. Excellent setup there.
Former Cardinal got the position, went right to work, able to make the turn and to put it away for a 2-1 Olympic Club lead with 2:11 to play here in the first.
As a center, you can't ask for a better pass than that. Not too much movement wasted in getting out to the ball, directly to the hand, and all of that energy and movement going towards the shot in the back of the cage. Centers like Sefton, he has great hands. There's not a lot of body movement that needs to go into it when you have hands like that.
Connects over.
Schweimer working hard in center position for New York.
Arki from the outside, and that's knocked down by Andrich. And then in transition, an exclusion. So Rolsa excluded on the way down, and now here comes Olympic Club. Ahead 2-1, looking for more. Monsi's moving in. Gives a few fakes, and they work it around the perimeter.
There's a bit of urgency that comes with ejections that are called in the transition because you're having to get down the pool and set up your 6-on-5 as quick as possible.
And to no avail there on that opportunity.
It's a tough angle when you're coming up at that position and then passing it into the post. You're going to have to going from the front of your body all the way to the back. It's a challenging shot to try to put away.
And New York kills off the 6-on-5. And now back on the offensive end.
Short center entry pass straight into the hands of Olympic.
Here's Cullen Hennessy. Offensive.
Refs calling it tight.
Patrick Fellner getting tangled up. And now it's back to New York with 33 seconds left in the first quarter.
You know, I wonder why the refs are calling it so tight, but I think it's no secret that this is a rival game, right? Two teams that are pretty passionate about beating each other, and I think keeping it tight from the beginning of the game may allow it to stay clean throughout, where energy and emotions could run high, right?
Well, and just given the talent in the pool, you have to officiate this at that international level, where if you don't corral some of this play early, the physicality can really ramp up and get away.
Absolutely.
Shot clock off, just 6 seconds left. Last try here for O Club. Off the post and out, and that's all for the first. Good back and forth here between Olympic Club and New York Athletic Club, and it's O Club ahead 2-1. As we will step aside and return with the second quarter. You're watching live from Ocean View High School right here in Huntington Beach, California. Stay with us.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
Second quarter about to begin. Olympic Club and New York Athletic Club underway here. Thanks for joining us on what's turning out to be a nice day here in Huntington Beach. Ocean View High School, the scene, free admission all weekend long. So if you're thinking about coming out to watch your favorite club, join us today and tomorrow. We'll also have action tomorrow morning at Golden West College here in Huntington Beach. Olympic champ Cammie Craig and Greg Meskel joining you here. This rivalry matchup. Nice turn inside and a turn and score. Colin Mulcahy makes it a 3-1 lead for Olympic Club.
We watch Olympic approach this offensive possession, taking his time on the drive behind the back of the center, almost kind of picking off the back of the center, getting enough space for a nice pass and finish cross cage low. Great awareness of where the goalie was at in that cage and finding that open water.
Barron comes over to try and close off near side. And the other side was open for the score. Entry inside there, looking for Alex Obert, and it's taken away.
Obert doing work in 2-meter position this morning. Nice movement of the ball to follow it up. Just not quite enough to come off of it to get to the ball and make a move.
Here's Mulcahy. This Olympic Club team well represented with Cal Bears and Stanford Cardinal. That's batted away. Carnelia, speaking of Cal Bears, there's also some on New York, and Carnelia taps that one away, and now Barron, the former USC Trojan, will look ahead to a former UCLA Bruin and Alex Rolsa. Looking for Smith inside, that may have been deflected, and now Andrich will control.
Trying to make it happen. That's a tough position because you can see Jesse wants it. You can see his eyes. You can see his body language. He's like, give me the ball. But in that position, your teammates really have to be your eyes for you and have to recognize how much defense is around you in that moment and call it off or be patient and pull it back out or give the most on-the-hand pass there ever was.
Lifetime sub here coming from Olympic Club, little hockey sub as Patrick Fellner has come on. Your former coach, Adam Krikorian, and I were talking about this last week during the MPSF finals. The responsibility of the players to work with the center. The center might always want the ball and always ask, no matter what, I'm open, give me the ball.
That's the hard wiring of the mind of a center.
Yes,
you
right?
always want the ball and you always want to score a goal.
But it's part of your teammate's responsibility to not give you the ball in a bad position.
Absolutely. I used to always communicate with my teammates, hey, you are my second set of eyes. You've got to be able to see what's around me when I can't and set me up for the best position possible. I will always be ready, but you've got to be my eyes, and I will understand if you said, hey, you've got two people sitting back behind you and you can't even see it, right?
Shot clock about to expire here for New York, and how about that? They were on the 6-on-5 and really couldn't get a good opportunity there as Olympic Club held strong. Olympic Club, this, especially on the men's side, has really surged in the last couple of years, winning National League last year, swept all but one of the tournaments in the National League season going into the summer calendar as well. So really strong play throughout the year.
I mean, just looking over both of these rosters for New York and Olympic, there's no lack of talent, and that goes right onto the bench as well. Both teams really have amazing athletes to pull from all throughout.
New York now on the attack. Cross cage is there. Score it for New York and Josh Styling. Former UC San Diego standout able to connect. We mentioned the roster of Olympic Club doing it all without Paul Reynolds today.
Paul Reynolds, one of my favorite athletes to watch play. Just really enjoy his ability offensively to move, and explosiveness, his anticipation, and even on the defensive end, just his knowledge.
Just a flat-out scorer, all-time leading scorer in National League history.
He's a creator as well.
So we'll see if we see him tomorrow or perhaps in a couple of weeks at the Fisher Cup. Olympic Club back to work on offense. Not for long. An offensive foul is called on Ballerin. And New York will take control.
I could imagine it'd be difficult to figure out how to work as a center against Jesse Smith. Just his size and his strength and his ability to defend. You got to figure out ways to get him back on his heels and find your opportunities. Unfortunately, it was a hook that was a little too high, leading to an offensive.
Yeah, Smith, a veteran player out of Coronado, California, near San Diego, and as we mentioned, has played on 4 Olympic teams, multiple international clubs all over the world, considered one of the top defenders around, and that's led to his longevity, that ability to defend.
Yeah, I mean, a thankless job, and really a job in the pool that's just to purely get beat up.
Barron gets a piece of that on the quick try from the outside from Jack Grover. And Hooper will put it in play. Lots of national teamers battling in this one, past and present. So very familiar with their styles, tendencies.
And that makes a difference. If you've played against certain players before, you know what to expect. You know what they go to, what their habits are, what their strengths are.
The rebound, and Barron controls. That was ricocheted on the 6-on-5 off the cage. On the attempt there by Blake Parrish, rebound in close, but there wasn't much on it, and McQuinn Barron was able to control.
Seeing some subs on the fly here. Again, we're seeing how much it's utilized here at National League. We're not seeing it as much on the national team level.
Long try from distance. Andrich controls. That was Josh Samuels, the Olympian, letting it fly from deep. And Andrich couldn't keep it in play, so it'll come back in. New shot clock, 20 seconds on the reset. Roberts has a look. Up on his legs, and Andrich goes and gets a piece of it. Andrich, a real vocal goalkeeper. You can really hear him positioning the players in front of him, giving instruction throughout.
I find that helpful as a player to have that voice from behind. I always counted largely on my goalkeeper's communication. I always laughed and said, you know, I wasn't a very strong defensive player, so guess who I made friends with first on the team? My goalies. Because at the end of the day, if the balls were flying past me, I had to thank them and make sure they loved me, right?
Yeah. Spinning backhand from Obert, and it's off the post and out. Not enough there. And now on the counter, here's Hooper. Johnny Hooper, creative in the open water. Turned away. But it'll stay with Olympic Club. McQuinn Barron there with the initial block. Shot clock to 8. Shane Hochschild. He'll take a look from the outside. McQuinn Barron deflects that one away.
Hochschild up with that big wind up, but those long arms look familiar. His sister Paige Hochschild has the same long arms just like him.
It's funny, watching that release, I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
From the outside, but a rebound try. Andrich, a double time stop from the outside and then in close. Lifetime sub coming here as Sefton returns to give Ballerin a breather.
It's incredible how aware you have to be to have these lifetime subs. Got to be watching the field of play and the sidelines now.
Hooper, long cross pass, and that'll set up an exclusion. Merarkey going off. Colin Hennessy now around the way they work at Sefton. Hooper inside, drawing Barron. Dangerous pass there was partially deflected by Schweimer. Shot clock to 2. Olympic Club out of time. The redirect, Barron is there to the right.
I think Hooper's seeing something that he thought was there, but it wasn't quite there. Olympic doing a great job making the space for Hooper.
He's definitely looked to facilitate in this first half. He's a scorer, no doubt about it, but looking to get folks involved. Minute remaining, first half. Here's the inside look. Setting things up for Schweimer. And an exclusion. It will go against Grover, and a timeout called by New York and Coach John Mann.
Perfect timing on the timeout call. Try to get another point on the board for New York, taking the 6-on-5 opportunity to do so. See if New York will be able to convert.
So 55 seconds left first half. 3-2 lead for Olympic Club, and a good close battle, Cammy, as you might expect between two talented rival-type teams, and now New York with a chance here to draw something up.
Even if it's just to come over and say, run what we typically run, sometimes a timeout is nice to catch your breath, get organized, and be able to set up and have a full clock.
Has to be a unique experience with someone like John Mann coaching this team, because he played with so many of these guys. And this happens all the time. It's not just him.
Right.
Where not long after someone is done playing, and he still plays occasionally, but they go into that coach role, has to be an interesting dynamic to suddenly start listening to someone in a coach role that you were once a teammate and peer with.
Yeah, and I think it becomes really collective, right? So just as if John Mann was in a Speedo in the water, it becomes collective of talking through things as teammates, and I think he's there to kind of keep the tempo and see things that the guys aren't seeing in the water.
6-on-5 here for New York. Roberts, ton of fakes, tries to go bar down, the rebound off the bottom of the bar. Obert couldn't slam it home. That's about as close as you get. Wow, two close calls. Obert thinks for sure he's going to slam that one back in.
Sends it in, Mulcahy.
Oh, interesting no call on that.
And Barron takes it away.
A hold of the whistle.
Reed Cotterill moving ahead. Bad pass taken away. 2 seconds left. Ondrich will let it fly, and that one is wide of the goal. We've reached intermission here at Ocean View. Olympic Club 3, New York Athletic Club 2. We step aside and return. Third quarter opening sprint on the way. You're watching live on USA Water Polo TV.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. And welcome back. Ocean View High School, the scene. National League Week 3 play. Olympic Club leading New York Athletic Club 3-2. Fans, don't forget live stats available on the Fosh.net, the official stats provider of USA Water Polo. Head to THEFOSH.net. If you're following along and it was a little out of whack earlier on, we got things figured out. Olympic Club, they submitted one roster and wore some other caps, as tends to happen in water polo for reasons we'll never know. But we think we've got it all figured out now. People just see a cap, Cammy, they pick it up, they put it on, not their number. Anarchy reigns, but I think we got to figure it out. So
I'm sitting here pretty quiet because I think I've been guilty of
I'm sure
the
you
same.
have.
Yeah.
It is a thing. It plagues the game.
Although I've been pretty loyal to cap number 12.
You have, as of late. Yeah, we catch you at 12 and not much else.
Yeah.
You were what, 2 back in the day?
Back in the day.
And then at SC, what'd you wear? 2?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. Shot clock to 3, and a save there for Barron. But you were 12 since the very beginning of your national team, right?
Right. So I wore 2 all through club, high school, and college.
Yeah.
And when I joined the women's national team in 2005, Heather
We know who
Petrie
had 2, yeah.
had been holding it down for 2 Olympic games, and there was no way I was going to get my hands on that. So I just threw a 1 before the 2, and I called it a day and wore 12 for 13 years with the national team.
There you go. And now do you identify more with 12 than 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fair. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. It was hard for me to say.
But that immediate, honest answer is the
Yeah.
truth. So, yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, exclusion called. And a power play coming up for Olympic Club. They lead it by 1, looking to add. Here's Johnny Hooper. Exclusion will go on DeBow. And the power play here.
Olympic taking their time to kind of pick apart their.
Low skip. How many close calls have we had in this one so far?
Many.
That skipped, caught Barron on the hand. I think he just said that was close.
As he giggles.
And he's able to control that one. The skip there coming in hot.
It's been really interesting to watch both teams kind of roll into their offensive half court with not a lot of speed, but they kind of enter in and then they wait to see what they're going to start working on.
Here's Hooper now. Look at the speed on the counter. Johnny Hooper with Smith giving chase, puts the ball high, and then just the leg strength pushes him forward, and he goes cross cage to beat Barron for a 4-2 lead.
This is not uncommon to see from Hooper. I mean, this is what we see him do quite a bit, right? History repeats on this one.
Second look here. Defender's giving chase, and you'll see at the last moment here, it's almost like he hits the turbo button and just kind of gets a boost ahead of the defender.
What a privilege to have a turbo button. I'll take one of those. I think mine's the beast mode button. He's got the turbo button.
Yeah, yep. You go like Bruce Banner into Incredible Hulk style, and everyone clears out.
Speaking of beast mode, Obert's been doing some hard work for New York in the 2-meter position.
Yeah, battling down there, and instead it's from the outside, and Styling able to hit for a 4-3 game now.
Styling, great finish, turn around with a big smile on his face. That's the great thing about National League. Doesn't matter where you are in your career of playing water polo, whether you're college, post-college, national team, post-national team. There's just a feeling about scoring a goal and playing the game that you love that'll bring a smile to your face. And that's the really cool thing about being out here. Although this is a competitive game, high energy, high emotion, there's still a lot of joy in doing this for a lot of these athletes who are out here.
Especially the folks that aren't playing at that national team level anymore. They're here. They enjoy the game, the camaraderie. They just love being a part of the sport. Parrish threads the needle inside, but on the turn, something left behind. It was the ball, and Rolsa comes up with it. 5:05 left, third quarter.
New York looking to set up here.
Ordinary called. Threading inside, backhand off the bar. It's probably the fourth or fifth shot we've seen that has touched some part of the frame of the goal in a way. And now on the other end, leaking out in front. Fellner, penalty. Took Rolsa for the ride and draws the penalty. No goal there at the moment, but a penalty try coming for Olympic Club.
Ball's in the back of the cage, have to pull it out. It's part of the mental intimidation, if you will.
You can come and get this if you want to try and take a 5 meter.
Goalie's completely capable of tossing it up, but not today, not on my watch.
Nope. I don't know what's back there. You have to go get it yourself.
This is common. You see this so much in the game.
It is constant. Yeah, and make that person go swim for it. Why are you going to help them get comfortable?
Half an hour later, we're going to go to the 5 meter shot.
Yep. Off the post.
Mental intimidation works this time around.
Another shot, a close call off the post. Olympic Club can't cash in.
New York pulling Olympic back into a zone defense pretty much every possession here.
A bit of an overpass there. And now a chance for Andrich and Olympic Club to advance. It's a 4-3 lead for Olympic Club. 3:45 to play. Third quarter. Barron.
Barron earns that foul from the outside. You can see him take a really good look around to see if he's out far enough to go for that up and shot.
Lifetime sub coming here as Schweimer is getting set to return. Cornelia and Jack Grover were battling in the backcourt.
We have two players coming in and out. New York keeps looking back, wondering if they're going to join the party. Not a bad look on Cage there.
No, given that was from, about 8.5 meters.
Yeah.
That one made it all the way through and forced Andrich to make the stop off the post. So low-scoring affair here in the third. New York wanting an offensive foul there as Colin Mulcahy was moving towards the cage. And they'll get it because Mulcahy was battling with Schweimer. And see Schweimer's head just jerking back a few times.
A little tangle there, and off they go.
Sometimes you see that is almost like the international soccer version of flopping. The head jerk and pull that's maybe not as violent as what is being suggested, but there is some physical play to it, 2 meters. And on the other end, Schweimer drawing the offensive and then drawing the exclusion.
So much energy and endurance that goes into having to go. I think he almost did 2 back-to-back possessions there defending and then rolling into the 2 meter position and earning an ejection.
Cross cage, lots of hands in the way. One of those was an Olympic Club defender field blocking it out. Hooper returns as the power play is killed off. 2:10 to play in the third. Ordinary called, under 2 to play, third quarter. Mulcahy takes a look, walks it in, field blocked. That is stomped out by DeBow.
Big field block for New York here.
Now Mulcahy's argument, I think, is that after that field block, he forced the ball under on DeBow. But it is New York ball as they advance.
I often found I haven't won an argument with a ref yet. It's not worth taking the time to discuss it because the call's been made, right?
Batted away on the Cotterill attempt. You're right. The next time a referee stops a game and says, hey, wait a minute, number 12 was spot on.
Yeah.
We're going this direction.
Wait, what did you think that was? Let's have a conversation about it.
But I think it does tend to be almost a future effect.
Sure.
I'm going to lobby about this now so that maybe 2 plays from now you're thinking about me telling you that I'm getting pushed or pulled or whatever it might be. Bobbling the ball there. DeBow able to regather. And then with the shot clock expiring, Samuels can't get a shot off. 1 minute left, third quarter, 4-3. Olympic Club over New York Athletic Club. And again, Schweimer and Fellner battling. Cross pass there, Samuels reaching up to tip that one out.
Just that slight tip on the ball, creates such a great opportunity for New York to come down and really set up their defense the way they want to, making it an overpass, just giving New York time.
Fellner now takes a look. The exclusion.
A bit of work done away from the ball.
Brian Flax and Olympic Club will call for time with the 6-on-5 on the way with 37 seconds left here in the third.
Olympic in a great position here to get another point on the board. And only having a few seconds left at the end of this quarter if they choose to use and do use the entire clock.
Exclusion there looked to go on Reed Cotterill of New York Athletic Club. And Brian Flax has the dry erase board out. Coach at Harvard Westlake, a high school power here in Southern California, but has helped this Olympic Club team reach some pretty special heights as of late.
Someone who's incredibly passionate about coaching, and you can just see how much he enjoys it.
Brian Alexander assisting on this Olympic Club team, former national team athlete.
And Olympic Club, you release to set your offense up. Timeout. Oak on the power play. 37 in the period.
Out of the timeout, 6-on-5 underway for Olympic Club. Zach Monsees. Hooper around the way. Back to Monsees. Quick passing. Field block. And Jesse Smith punches that one away, and then the fist pump.
It was worth the fist pump. Always a good feeling, especially after a timeout's called and you're knowing your opponent's really wanting to accomplish something in this. They've even taken the time to call a timeout to do so. To get a field block off of something like that is a good feeling.
Shot clock is off, just 9 seconds left. Here's Smith. Cotterill tries to go inside, controlled by Olympic Club, and that's all for the third. So we have ourselves a 1-goal game going to the fourth quarter. Olympic Club and the New York Athletic Club. Come back and join us. Ocean View High School, Huntington Beach, California. Surf City, the scene. We're back with more after this.
You've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
Fourth quarter just about to get underway. Olympic Club and New York Athletic Club 4-3. Cammie, we look at what is clearly a low-scoring affair. From what you've seen through three quarters, what can be the difference maker here to push one of these teams ahead for the win?
Just taking advantage of all opportunities, right? And continuing to push. That's what you got to do. Again, I think we've been watching both New York and Olympic set up their offensive ends and kind of wait to see what they can develop. I'd like to see some early opportunities from one or the other teams to really start getting this scoreboard shifting one way or the other.
Goals have been hard to come by. Can New York battle back here? Barron controls to start things off here in the fourth.
When you're facing dominant defense on both ends and two great goalies, it is hard to get points on the board.
Obert works into set.
Alex Ober continues his battle in close. A double team and an exclusion. I think Colin Mulcahy caught the worst of that, but the exclusion is on Thomas Carroll.
When the ball comes down low and it's a live entry pass, you're going to look at something positive.
And now a power play here for New York.
Roberts takes the pass.
Roberts around the way. Roberts, let's fly. That's tipped away by Andrich. And so shot clock back to 20 seconds. Sides coming even shortly. Sides coming even now. Carnelia has the look. That's off the bar and out of play.
Just from this view over here, I mean, we're watching and Olympic is all arms up. I mean, those are some big bodies in front of a cage with arms up, just really taking up some space. Not a lot of opportunity there.
90 seconds deep here, fourth quarter. 1 goal lead for Olympic Club. Little crossing pass there, but it's a ball under. Nice idea. That was a difficult timing play to get that one to connect on the drive across, and New York is there defensively.
We saw that drive earlier in the game, I think in the first quarter, and they were able to connect and put the ball away. So not a surprise that they revisit that.
If it works, go back to it. New York trying to figure out what works for them. Merarkey. Carnelia been off on a couple of shots now. That one was well wide of the cage.
Some great extra passes, though. A little frustration after that missed shot, leading to an ejection.
And then an exclusion. So frustration, as you mentioned, for Carnelia, as He misses the shot and then he gets tangled up with Fellner.
And a red card to player 8 Dark.
And so a red card to Carnelia. Much to his disbelief. I think he had some words there for the official after the fact. He's suggesting that was just his own frustration. He wasn't saying those words to the referee, but they interpreted it differently, and that will be the end of his day, at least in this game.
See if New York can get another point on the board.
Smith rockets that off the cage.
As you see the front of the cage completely come out of the water. That was a rocket.
Under 5 to play in the fourth. So presumably Carnelia out with the red card and won't be available for New York's next game this afternoon when they take on Commerce.
New York wanting to play tight on defense here and not let Olympic to get another point on the board.
Similar result on this end as that shot from Fellner bangs off the corner of the cage.
So many of these shots going high or hitting that top bar. When you're coming to the end of a game, fatigue and exhaustion starts to set in, and you really got to get to your legs. Be smart in your placement with the ball. A lot of times we see the ball go high because we're leaning on our back or we're losing our legs a little bit.
Sub coming here for Olympic Club. That bums out Andrich, who had ideas on a counterattack, and instead now they'll be down a player. A little bit of confusion here. A timeout is called. Olympic Club, and looks to be an exclusion against New York and Schweimer.
Flax calling a timeout during a time of confusion. Always appreciate a coach that can read that and pull everyone together for a regather and reorganize and get back out there and get the job done.
And so a timeout called, and also knowing how pivotal this could be, that it's a 1-goal game, a 6-on-5 here. Olympic Club gets a goal here. That might be all they need to win this game with the way that New York has struggled to score the ball.
Absolutely. Again, sometimes these timeout calls are not to run anything special or different. It's really just to regather and give yourself the opportunity to take a deep breath and set up and start the way that you want to start.
Although it does look like he is over there putting something together, or maybe at least reiterating something they already do.
Definitely.
Is that helpful, just even a refresher, even if it's a play you run all the time, just to draw it up again and show you again?
Yeah, absolutely. And coaches with whiteboards, that always worked for me. I loved seeing it and then going out and doing just that. I think about, coaches like Jovan Vavik that I played for, and he was always on the whiteboard and,
Sure.
Being so passionate about explaining the play, which would get you pumped up to go out there and do your role within the play.
And now the timeout completed, and here's the 6-on-5 and a pivotal moment in this one. Hennessy controlling, now Hooper. Hooper's been quiet offensively. Hennessy across the way. Hochschild, as the shot clock expires, they'll say that was a shot clock violation. And so remember, just 20 seconds on that reset, so that is the extent of the exclusion.
It goes quick, and again, we have some I talked about the size of our athletes here today, just taking up space in the water. I mean, there's some big bodies out there, and again, Olympic trying to find their openings and their holes.
Here's a good look, and the penalty is called. Schweimer working inside.
Well-deserved. Ball comes down low. Schweimer has great inside water. That ball's placed right on his hand, and he can start moving forward with that. Again, a well-deserved call.
And this will bring Styling in to try and tie this game with 3:02 to play. Styling versus Andrich. score it, Styling.
The corner, number 9, Josh Styling.
All even at 4 with 3:01 to play in the fourth.
Well done by Styling. I mean, these are the positions you dream of being in as an athlete. A free 5-meter shot to tie the game. Styling gets up big and gets the job done high, top shelf.
Big score for Styling, even at 4. Remember, this is still considered pool play. These games can end in ties. So 2:49 left, but both sides here going for the win. Olympic Club just 1 loss on the year. This pass comes in. Double team, Obert shows up, as does Mirarki.
Great defense played by New York. It's going to be important here.
Barron now pushing ahead.
Robert kicks it back out. That's DeBow in off a post. Obert with the ball.
Obert takes a look. He's got DeBow and Smith down. A little double post look there for the moment. Instead tries to possibly go backdoor to Roberts and kind of caught in between.
Neither team want to finish with a tie, but they also don't want to be rushed, right? Both teams are kind of in a position where they want to get another goal in, but they don't want to be silly with the ball. They don't want to make, any silly mistakes in regards to turning the ball over. So there's this patience and carefulness that has to come in the next few minutes and seconds here.
Sweep shot, and that one got caught in the water, as Alex Obert was there to jam up that attempt in close. And now Ryder Roberts tied up in the backcourt as well.
New York with a 6-on-5 advantage here.
And
see if they'll be able to convert it.
Perhaps the chance to go ahead. 90 seconds to play, fourth quarter. Here's a look. Inside the 2 is the call before they could get that shot off. DeBow had a look, center cage. And now here comes another one of those hockey subs as Sefton is going to come on.
Unfortunate call against New York here. Again, we talked about how goals are not easy to come by, and here they are finding the back of the cage, and a simple inside the 2 call takes it away.
A heartbreaker for New York. Now Olympic Club a chance to get the decisive score. But an offensive Mulcahy with the offhand, an elbow to the grill of Jesse Smith. And now New York will call for time with 56 seconds left here in the fourth. And a chance to score the go-ahead goal. Well, Cammie, it's what you'd expect between these two teams coming down to the wire. Last second finish will have the final word here on offense, or do we end in a 4-4 tie?
I mean, we imagined it to be a close game, but also a low-scoring game, which means there's been great defense across the board, and again, just challenging to really get some offensive opportunities here and get the balls in the back of the cage.
What's exciting about this format, and that we know this game is ending in 56 seconds no matter what, is that everybody can just max out over the last minute. Like, go for it on offense. Put in that big effort. You don't have to save anything in the tank for overtime or shootout or anything else.
Right. You're going to see New York here calling the timeout. We have 56 seconds left on the clock. New York's going to want to really use their time here in their offensive possession. Hopefully get a shot in there at the end of the clock and play one really good possession of defense. That's what they're in control of doing right now. Olympic are going to want to shut New York down, right? And then go for it on their end and just finish with a great offensive possession. Really, it's almost Olympic. I would rather be in their position of playing one good solid defense and then going down and controlling it on offense.
That's confidence in your defense right there.
Well, I got good goalies, right?
Out of the timeout, likely last possession here for New York. Spread out far as they look for the go-ahead goal. Roberts going backdoor, nothing available there. Here's Mirarki, he's knocked down. Roberts now, 18 on the shot clock, still plenty of time. We're under a minute to go in the game.
New York really looking to create. Ober doing a good job holding one side, but can New York find him?
Here's Samuels. Josh Samuels takes a look from the outside. That's turned away. Andrich gets all of it, putting that one aside, and now 30 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Olympic Club can go for the win. Andrich directing traffic. He'll go ahead to Hooper. Hooper threads that pass in. How did it find a way through? Exclusion called.
Incredible, that ball and how it bounced right into the center's hand.
Wow, what a pass through.
Was it planned or was it luck or a little bit of both?
Hooper, the go-ahead goal with 12 seconds left on the power play. 5-4, Olympic Club leads it.
Hooper pressing the turbo button, finding the good center entry pass.
He's been fairly quiet offensively this time, wasting no time. Great time to score during a 6-on-5 right as the player is leaving. They go right to Hooper.
Nothing like the quick opportunity here. Great pass out. Almost lulling them to sleep as like, okay, we'll get set up. Boom, quick pass out, and Hooper fires it into the back of the cage. Olympic getting organized on defense here. A lot of communication going on out in the water. Not wanting NYAC to get any sort of opportunity in these last few seconds. 9 on the clock.
Shot clock is off, just 7 seconds left. Here's Roberts. Roberts rips it high, and that should seal the deal with 3 seconds left as that one goes over the cage, and Olympic Club can run out the rest of the clock. Andrich will hang on to this one, and that is all. And the latest chapter in this rivalry, it goes to the team from the Bay Area. Olympic Club wins it 5-4 over the New York Athletic Club, and that runs O Club's record to 7-1 on the year. New York drops back to 4-3, our most exciting finish of the day. More to come as the LA Athletic Club gets set to take on the Cal Golden Bears. That's coming up at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, thereabouts. Stay with us. We're back to Ocean View High School with more after these messages.